Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, also honorable adjudicators. Let me introduce my name as Leon Glinger Enembe, and I'm here proudly taking the government side about the motions this House believes that is in the interest of middle class parents to send their children to vocational high school. So, honorable the adjudicators, worldly opponents, and ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people thought about the way to teach is by the academic school, university, and then comes to employment. It is one of the challenges for the middle class parents because, as we know, middle class parents has enough fund to provide their children in education, but not good enough, but not high risk enough to take them to the university. They let the kid ensure each other of their children compete through the limited resource and fund, as I said before, and that as we know that they were competitive in the economy that were increase the real effect. And also we know that the success determined by the skills in the society. And the society itself actually needed the skills, not by the diploma and any other things that learned at school. Year by year, but has almost zero experience and skill, that is nothing. So the world right now we needed, what the world most needed is skill and also experience. So therefore, today I proudly support the motions about this House belief that it is in the interest of middle class parents to send their children to vocational high school. But before we move forward, we have to know about the meaning of this middle class family. What does it actually mean? So by its call middle class, that means it was the average family that has enough fund to take their children to take education, but not high enough, like as the most high quality university. As I said before, it is them who has enough resource and funding for their children. And the second one is about the vocational high school itself. So it's a secondary high school that is combined academic education that specialize in or at professional and technical training. So it trains the student into a real world, what is the real world needed. For example, engineering. The student will learn about engine, about how to make up an engine, the structure and everything about the engine itself. So it is important to them that with it, the goal is to prepare them to a specific career. As I said before, for example, the engine. And the next one is about many industries facing a shortage of skilled workers. Well, at the same time, many of universities that are already graduating couldn't find a job. But why? Because their skill did not match with what it is actually demands. So the global demands were different with what they're graduating. So the technology and industries that were involved would have more interest into individual with their skill or their specific experience than the educational prestige. With that, vocational school has emerged to effective as the effective solutions to create or to connecting education with real world needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my arguments. So, there are two arguments. So, the first one, ladies and gentlemen, is about the middle class parent itself. So, the middle class parents were trying to raise their social mobility upward. It's not about getting a diploma or degree, it's all about how to become something that is worthy, that could change their life. And this is good, like for example, as students studying at software development in a vocational school, he also could start freelancing or even working on some technology company besides taking the vocational school. So by that means, he could make money while taking a class, and that's a good thing. Is that could happen right before he getting his own university degree. And that is my first argument. And for the second one is vocational school could even help the student. How it could help the student? So it helping them by finding their talent slowly. Like as we know, every children has way different styles to learn something, to know something. So with this vocational school, it could help students find their specialized skills. For example, there's students who love practicing than learning at the class. That is good example, and also could apply as an engineer who really love engines, so he could learn for more practical than just a theoretical environment, because it's good for his knowledge and he feels that is the most good thing and good way to learn. And ladies and gentlemen, now we are at the ending, at the conclusion. So by all of this, we already know that the middle class are not looking for the diploma, the prestige, the degree. They're looking forward about how their children would be, how they could be a successful, how they could have a bright future. They wanted the children to secure the future and help these children to discover the skill. That's why there's a vocational school. And also to raising their social mobility upward. And by all this is a better path, this is a good path for the middle class for their future. Ladies and gentlemen, with all of this, I am proudly to support this motion. And that's all for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your